Today on the spot, we get the latest coming to Wii Shop channel and see what new releases are hitting store shelves. EA gives us an exclusive look at a new feature in FIFA 11, and we got triple demos for Section 8 Prejudice, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, and Killzone 3. Today on the spot.
Hello everybody and welcome to Today on the Spot for Tuesday, October 26, 2010. I'm your host, Sean McInnes. This is our co-host, Kevin Van Nord. Kevin, not only is this show absolutely stacked with great stuff, the entire week is full of great stuff. Not even on Today on the Spot, just in life in general. We've got a great Halloween episode coming up this weekend. The Giants are in the World Series, and most importantly, you brought cookies into the office today.
I did. You know, I was up all night slaving over those things. Notice that they're pink. That's because I made them from Kirby paste.
You killed some Kirby's and then you made cookies with it. That only makes the cookies more delicious. And most importantly, we're giving away a whole bunch of Killzone 3 beta codes at the end of the show. But first, as always, it's time for the latest headlines.
Hey everyone, it's your GameSpot news update for Tuesday, October 26th. I'm Tor Thorson. So the week began with what looked like the accidental reveal of a big name game. Amazon France posted a listing for Uncharted 3 World of Deceit, what appeared to be the third installment in Naughty Dog's signature adventure series. The listing, which was quickly pulled, even had a logo for the game, which was apparently designed by a concept designer whose firm had a contract with Sony. Small problem though, the whole thing was a big fat fake. After rewarding the internet with what appeared to be concept art for the series, the designer issued a statement saying that the logo and art were merely a school project. Quote, "This was a project done for an architecture class and has no affiliation with Naughty Dog and their Uncharted series," he said, unquote. Naughty Dog head of PR Arnie Meyer also posted that the art was totally fake. However, given Uncharted 2 sold over 3 million copies, a sequel is virtually guaranteed. It just won't be called World of Deceit. In other news, the New York Times ran a piece on the Origins Connect, which launches in the US next week. It turns out the first prototype of the motion sensing unit cost $30,000 to build. Also, at one point, nearly 1,000 people were working on the system, formerly known as Project Natal. Now priced at $150, each Connect will sell at a profit, claims Microsoft. Those profits should go a little way to covering the reported $400 million Microsoft is spending to promote Connect, both by advertising and appearances on shows such as Oprah. And everyone knows that so goes Oprah, so goes the nation. Well, not really. Well, that was it, your GameSpot news update for Tuesday, October 26th. For more headlines, head on over to news.gamespot.com.
So Kevin, like we said, Halloween is right around the corner. We've got our Halloween special coming up, but you know, this being late October, that means that the holiday season is just well underway, and there's like a crap ton of big games coming out this week, right?
There really are. You've been playing a bunch of Fable 3, I think.
I've been playing a lot of Fable 3 this weekend, but like crazily enough, that's not even like, you know, the only big game this week.
Yeah, what? Rock Band 3.
Rock Band 3, The Force Unleashed 2.
Force Unleashed 2. I'm sure I'm missing lots of important
Shaun
stuff.
White skateboarding.
Oh, there you go, Shaun White skateboarding, and Tony Hawk for that matter. But rather than us sitting around and jabbering about what's new this week, I think we should take a look and see what the new releases are.
This week in new releases, leading the virtual charge this week is Fable 3. The action role-playing game comes to the Xbox 360 on Tuesday. A PC version has been delayed indefinitely. The title differs from the original Fable and Fable 2 in that the hero begins his or her life as a minion, and then leads a revolt against the land's tyrant. The hero will then become the leader of the land and must face the responsibilities of that hefty position. The title features the voices of comedy hero John Cleese, Sir Ben Kingsley, Stephen Fry, and others. Also dropping on Tuesday is LucasArts' Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2. The title due out for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Wii, DS, and PC is a sequel to the 2008 original, taking place 6 months after the events of its predecessor. For music gamers, Harmonix's Rock Band 3 is out for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Wii, and DS on Tuesday. The game is the first in the series to employ a piano as a playable instrument and will come with a pro mode where those with high-end Mad Catz peripherals can literally play along with any given song. The Sims 3 took PC and Mac by storm when it released over a year ago. Electronic Arts will hope for a similar success with a console version due out on the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and Wii on Tuesday. A DS version is also coming in 2011. Published under the EA Play label, the game will support many of the same customization and character creation options as the PC edition of the game, as well as some new features. Those include karma powers, which players can use to give their in-game incarnations instant luck, be it good or bad. Those looking for a fight this week can pick up SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. The latest entry in THQ's fighting series is due out on Tuesday for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, PSP, and Wii. One of the title's new features is an updated physics system in which objects like chairs, tables, and ladders can be manipulated with greater realism. Another fighting title due out this week is The Fight Lights Out. A PlayStation Move exclusive, the title lets players fight in a dark and gritty underground with Sony's new motion controllers. There's also a turf war happening at retail this week. Tony Hawk Shred and Shaun White Skateboarding are both due out on Tuesday. Shred is the follow-up to Activision's much maligned original. The title is aimed at a younger audience and incorporates a snowboarding component to the iconic skateboarding-only series. Shaun White's game is the frizzle-haired Olympic hero's first stab at the skateboarding genre. Previously, the Carrot Top 24-year-old starred in Shaun White snowboarding for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and Wii. Finally, for those who've yet to experience Rockstar Games' Sandbox Crime Saga, a new Grand Theft Auto 4 compilation is dropping on Tuesday for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. The Grand Theft Auto 4 Complete Edition bundles the main game with its 2 expansion packs, The Lost and the Damned and The Ballad of Gay Tony. For further details on the week's games, visit GameSpot's new releases page. Release dates are based on retail listings and are subject to change.
New releases brought to you by Best Buy. Bring your games to Best Buy and get more trade-in power with select games worth $20 and up in gift cards you can use store-wide.
So we mentioned that Kevin killed Kirby to make these cookies, so you're probably wondering what's left in Nintendo land. Well, let's find out with This Week on the Wii Shop channel.
This week on Wii Shop channel, in WiiWare, enjoy beats and blast foes with Bit Trip Fate. The latest iteration of the Bit Trip series will have you on rails in a new side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. Play in single-player mode as Commander Video, or team up with a co-pilot and enlist the help of friends made in Bit Trip Runner to battle through a world that's been twisted into an ugly technological nightmare. After that, find your place in the universe with My Planetarium. My Planetarium is a game that allows you to observe celestial bodies from the comfort of your living room. Choose from 3 main modes: Observation Mode containing 20,000 celestial objects, Planetarium Mode with 11 different tours, and Celestial Guidebook containing detailed information and mythology on constellations. In Nintendo DSiWare, save people from themselves with Go-Go Island Rescue. Take control of a squad of brave firefighters who must save the hapless Darwins from all manner of disaster, including fire, floods, and rampaging robots. 50 levels and 4 colorful zones will help you build a lifetime of good karma. After that, spot the difference. Gain bronze, silver, and gold cups by spotting the differences between pictures while racing against the clock. The game features 160 different photos from established photographers. You can play solo or against a friend to see who has the better pair of eyeballs. Next, hold your ground with Go Series Defense Wars. Your mission is to survive in this tower defense game. Take control of a mini arsenal of weapons and unleash bullets and bombs at oncoming enemies. Arm your base with guns, cannons, and tanks in preparation for the onslaught, then attack with everything you've got. Finally, it's getting dark outside and you probably need a flashlight. It's your DS, it's a flashlight. Yes, it's your DS as a flashlight. Make light come from your DS and light literally anything in your path. And that's all the time we have, folks. Join us next week for more This Week on Wii Shop channel.
Kevin, as I understand it, Section 8, Prejudice, is the sequel to Section 7, Give Them a Fair Chance. True or false?
Sean, no falser statement has ever been uttered in this studio. And what's amazing is there have been a lot of false statements uttered in this studio.
I've said a lot of real fake stuff.
Yeah, well, as it happens, you're incorrect. The good news is that Andrew Park has all the information you need to know. Let's check in with Andrew and see what's up with Section 8, Prejudice.
All right, and welcome to today's daily demo. Today we have Robert from TimeGate Studios. Robert, thanks for joining us.
Good to be here.
So what'd you bring us?
Today we're going to be taking a look at a game called Section 8 Prejudice. It's a follow-up to last year's Section 8, and it features this group of powered armor infantry in these large-scale multiplayer battles.
So Prejudice, as I understand it, it's got an expanded campaign. That's not, I guess the previous game, the campaign was kind of a prep for multiplayer. This time around, there's a much more story-driven campaign. Conquest mode is coming back, and there's a brand new mode. Is that right?
Right. So the campaign is a real 5-hour experience this time around. Completely all new original maps. Pretty great storyline, I think, that dives into the back history of Section 8 and this foe that they're fighting. The Conquest, the same 32-player on the console and 40-player experience on the PC, is back and better than ever. And then we also have our new Swarm mode, which is a 4-player cooperative experience, which we'll be taking a look at today.
Okay, yeah, we have Swarm actually queued up. Maybe we'll take a look at that.
Sure. So what we're taking a look at here is getting ready to drop into the map. And fans of the original Section 8 will notice that we're actually dropping in third person this time around. It's a much more cooler, immersive experience, and you could choose anywhere on the map that you want to drop into and spawn on top of.
You can actually move in midair and choose where you
Right, right. So if you're a sniper and you're dropping in, you see a tank, you might want to get out of the way. But if you got some C4, you might want to drop on that tank and drop it. These are fairly large-scale, wide-open maps that we're fighting on. Plenty of room for 32 players in our larger game modes. But in this particular mode, it's kind of Alamo style, where we have to defend one control point that's off to our right over there. And getting over to it is a breeze. You're in this powered armor suit, you got this overdrive mode, you got a jetpack, so you can move around these maps very quickly. You're never waiting for a ride or a Jeep to pick you up. You could, you know, leap over buildings. You're practically Superman.
Okay, so the mode is called Swarm, so I'm guessing it's not, you know, it's not like you against maybe 2 guys. How does Swarm work, Robert?
Yeah, with the Swarm experience, what starts off is that we have this one control point, and you have 3 teammates that are with you. And what you have to do is you have to defend this control point against waves of bots that are going to be dropping in on the map. So if we run out to the side here and look straight up, we'll actually see a couple of fireballs dropping out of the sky, and those are the bots that are making their way onto the battlefield. So it's best to coordinate your defenses before you hit that button, and then now we actually have to defend this control point against those bots that are coming in. And as time goes on, they're going to get progressively harder. You know, you're going to be fighting off the rookies in these first couple of waves, but next thing you know, they're going to be bringing in vehicles and their officers, and it'll be a pretty intense experience.
Right now, it looks like we have some deployables out there in the field. We have some turrets and things like that. But tell us about some of the stuff that we can deploy.
Sure. So each of these bases has built-in defenses around it, things like supply depots and automated turrets and like. But as players kill a lot of people on the battlefield, complete objectives, they get access to what are called requisition points. And they could use that to purchase their own turrets and supply depots and call them in on the battlefield. So we might have enough requisition points at this point to call in a turret. And we could place those anywhere that we want on the battlefield. You could call it in on top of a building, you could call it in pretty much anywhere that there's open space overhead. Because much like a player dropping in, it drops in from orbit and comes in as a great big fireball. And the same thing applies to vehicles as well. Players can call those in, and a dropship will deliver it on the battlefield wherever they want. You're never waiting in line or team killing your teammates for that single tank that spawns on a map.
So you can have vehicles in Swarm as well as the turrets and the supply depots.
Definitely, definitely. As time goes on, you earn more of the requisition points. You'll be able to purchase your own vehicles. You could call in cool things like a hover bike or a mech. In some of the other modes, we have other vehicles such as our 4-person tank, our convoy truck, and the bots are able to call these in as well. So the more difficult swarm waves that are going to be coming in are going to have them deploying their own armor on the battlefield. And also a pretty significant component of the Prejudice experience is our new unlock system. So in Section 8, we gave the player a lot of options for customizing the suit. So we could choose, he could have a sniper rifle and a missile launcher if we want to. But this time around, we also added in unlockable different ammo types for weapons and different variants. So we could actually go in here and, you know, for instance, we've already unlocked our napalm mortars, and those will set the ground on fire and do a damage over time. We could change our armor skin, change out our weapons, and do this stuff all on the fly. So if you're playing multiplayer, you got 100 ranks to chew through and a lot of different unlocks.
But the thing is, unlocks, they're not just localized for the particular multiplayer match. It's not like, oh, I unlocked this match, now I have to start from scratch. They're persistent, is that right?
Right, these are definitely persistent. There's a reason to stick with the game and keep playing it over time. These unlocks, you'll be able to change a lot of the gameplay experience. So it's not just, here's the assault rifle +1, it's let's change some of the attributes of how the weapon works. A perfect example is those napalm mortars. You know, it'll set the ground on fire, it'll set troops on fire and create a little choke point in there. So it's about changing up the gameplay. And as players get really high in their ranked experience, they'll actually get different rank pauldrons for their shoulders. So a high-ranking general might have a huge eagle on his shoulder pauldrons there, and really brings the bragging rights onto the battlefield.
I mean, looking at the match right now, we've already gone through a couple different weapon loadouts. It looks like we put some deployables. I mean, it sounds like with all the weapon unlocks, the deployables, the vehicles, I mean, a big push is just to have a lot of different variety, maybe different replay value. Having the no 2 swarm matches are the same. Is that kind of how the team's approaching it?
Well, I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, the Prejudice experience is really about having a lot of dynamic components in there such that no 2 games will ever play the same.
Awesome. So Robert, can you remind our viewers at home when the game is coming out?
Sure. So Section 8 Prejudice is going to be coming out in early 2011.
Okay. That was Section 8 Prejudice coming out in early 2011 for the PC, 360, and PS3. Thanks for watching.
Alright guys, like we mentioned before, we're giving away some Killzone 3 beta keys at the end of the show, but first we're going to give you a little taste of that action with our second daily demo. It's time for the Killzone 3 public beta, Kevin.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Yeah, I mean, everybody in the office knows I really, really, really love Killzone 2.
That's a good game.
So I'm excited about Killzone 3. Today, we finally got a chance to get into the multiplayer beta for the first time.
Okay.
You're literally going to watch me play my second game of Killzone 3.
So all the caveats.
So
in that.
yeah, so let's just jump in and have a little fun and see what's going on.
All right.
Now I'm playing as an engineer class, but I haven't unlocked anything yet. Now I'm playing warfare mode, which is a carryover from Killzone 2. What this means is that the different match types are going to switch in and out.
Okay.
Which makes for a very non-campy kind of always changing environment, so that there are always different objectives coming up for you.
And right from the outset, we can see one of the big differences for Killzone 3 from Killzone 2 is you're actually playing in snow this time.
Yeah, and it actually, obviously the game looks absolutely beautiful. And I'm a sucker for snow in games. Most people in the office know that as well.
You like snow,
so I really
and you like
do like
foliage.
Snow.
And yeah,
I like pretty.
You like
I guess.
pretty.
Yeah, I do like pretty, but I do have a soft spot for snow. Lost Planet 1, one of those games that gave me a little snow high there. So no exception in Killzone 3, but one thing that's obviously carried over is the I'm very bad at talking and playing games at the same time.
No problem.
But one thing that's carried over, obviously, is the classes and the unlocks. So as I go along, I'll be able to unlock more things. One of the more interesting things I saw that was added to the game is for the medic. Now I'm playing as an engineer, which means that I can set down turrets eventually. I can repair vehicles and whatnot. But one of the things the medic is going to be able to do is actually spawn this little hoverbot that hangs around. You only get limited time with it, but it will fight at your side as well as heal you and teammates that need to be healed.
Okay.
So it sounds like an excellent addition. Oops, those are my teammates.
That's a buddy.
See, this is what happens when I talk and play at the same time.
Now, Now I know that you haven't played a whole lot of the beta, but Killzone 2 was a game built around experience levels and unlocks and things like that. Wow.
Yeah.
To your knowledge, does it look like Killzone 3 is carrying on that torch?
Yeah, it looks to be much the same in that regard, although it looks like they are making some improvements. Number one is how well everything integrates into the Killzone website.
Okay.
That was a big deal there, because then it gave clans and players a chance to really keep track of what was going on and maintain their progress. And it looks like they're going to be working on streamlining that, as well as player communication. Again, squads are a big deal. You can maintain a squad. You can spawn with your squad mates. You can also jump high off of things and take a little damage.
Get a little bit of blood in your face.
Exactly. This is the first time I'm actually playing on this map, so you're seeing it at the same time that I am.
It's a great looking map. I mean, really, it's just a great looking game. Oh, shoot that thing down. Oh. Hey, you got it.
I did get it, but I had a little trouble there maintaining my own life. But,
nice.
Yeah, if you've played Killzone 2, this is going to be very familiar. It certainly feels the same. it looks very much the same, although the maps are different.
Right.
But this is a case where that's a very good thing. You know,
Right.
Killzone 2 had incredibly excellent multiplayer to begin with. So this is more of the evolution that you would expect as opposed to a revolution. But again, you get some of the same delights. Like the maps were one of the greatest delights in Killzone 2, and this is no different. There's just a lot going on. Because the modes are constantly changing on you. You know, you're always constantly on the move. There are lots of great places, you know, like here that you can kind of hide in. Get a little bit closer to the objective.
Right.
So yeah, always a lot going on. There are a couple new modes. One is Operations. You're seeing me play Warfare here, but Operations is one of those new modes, kind of an assault and defend mode. And in between rounds, players that did well in the previous round are featured in the cutscenes.
Right.
Which is actually a really cool idea because it's a nice feeling of reward.
Okay.
I've neutralized that territory.
And you're not just taking a rest here, you're actually completing an objective?
Exactly. I was completing an objective there, grabbing that spot. So yeah, the map the screen makes it really easy. You can always see your objectives really handily, so you know exactly where to go, except I'm being shot.
And this is a game that can be played not only with PlayStation Move, but also in 3D at the same time. Have you tried that yet?
I haven't yet, as a matter of fact. But like I said, this is only my second game. But I'm interested in checking out the PlayStation Move support.
Yeah.
They've added that in. Haven't they added that into Killzone 2 as well?
Not to my knowledge. I think
Okay,
it's just
so
Killzone 3.
I'm talking out of my butt.
But I got to try it at TGS with the 3D glasses and the Move controller. I felt like I was in the Matrix.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
You know, I'm not necessarily a person that thinks that 3D is necessary for every game, but it strikes me as that it might actually be a really interesting and worthwhile experience to check it out in Killzone 3.
All right, Kevin. Well, I very much appreciate you showing us the Killzone 3 public beta, giving people a little taste for what they're gonna win. Hopefully, one last question: when is Killzone 3 gonna be out in stores?
February 2011.
February 2011.
Absolutely.
All right, Kevin, again, thank you very much. Now it's time for our third daily demo of the show. We told you this one is stacked. It's Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. So all you racing fans out there have probably heard of EA's Need for Speed and Burnout series, but what you might not know is that the guys behind Burnout are actually working on the new Need for Speed game. Here to show us Need for Speed Hot Pursuit is Craig and Dana from EA. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Good to be here.
So, Craig, you guys at Criterion, you worked on Burnout Paradise, which is a game that, you could play and enjoy single player, but it was at its best in a multiplayer social experience. How are you sort of translating that over to Need for Speed Hot Pursuit?
Well, we did a lot of stuff with Burnout Paradise. We did a lot of free burn challenges, and we found out, even years later, that people played that game for 200, 300, 400 hours just driving around and doing stuff with their friends. So we were really interested in taking the connected side of that and kind of building on that more. So we had a very small feature in Burnout called Road Rules, where you got to compare times set on each road in the game against your friends. And we thought, how's about we blow that out, and how's about we put a measurement and a comparison on pretty much everything you do in the game, and bring your friends into the heart of your game and compare everything seamlessly. So that's what we've done, and that system's in the game, and it's called Autolog.
Well, we've actually got that right here to give everybody a little visual taste of what Autolog entails. So, Craig, walk us through Autolog. Tell us what this whole screen is all about.
So Autolog is the connected heart of the game. When you boot up the software, you'll actually see this screen, and you can see activity that's been happening with your friends, kind of scrolling past there. You see breaking news. You see, what your friends have been up to. You can also see that you can go and access photos. So, very kind of social network side of it. You can take screenshots in the game and post them up. We also have a wall where you can comment on different events and kind of smack talk with your friends inside the game, which is really cool. Hot Pursuit Online is the easy way that you connect with your friends and get together online and play Race, Interceptor, and Hot Pursuit. Career we'll go into in a second. Autolog recommends, very key feature for us. The cool thing about Autolog is kind of like when you buy a book from, say, Amazon, and it, you have a book and it says, you might like this as well, we recommend this to you. Okay. Autolog kind of does that. So it will say, you've been playing this event a lot, so have your friends. This event's really hot at the moment, you might like to play this. Or one of your friends has just beaten your time, would you like to kind of throw the challenge back to him? If Dana actually just goes into Autolog. So you can see in here, the SCPD and the little the driving icon there signify that they're both racer and cop events. You can play as both a cop and a racer in this game, but you can see that different people have been beating you at different things. Down the bottom right hand corner there, you can see the speed wall constantly active. It tracks attempts, it tracks the car driven, and also the time set. So it's a very, very powerful comparison engine we have in the game, and it's always smart, and it's always giving you new things to do and changing the way you play.
All right, cool. So, now that we've sort of covered the tools that are there to, link experiences and players together, why don't we take a look at the real meat and core of the game, which is the racing element.
So if we go into the main career here, you can see the map. This is where you choose your different events. You can see that Dana could choose a cop event or a racer event, and in the top right hand corner that actually changes to signify his progression in that particular part of the game. So the game's based on ranks. We have 20 ranks in the game. Everything that you do in the game earns you bounty, which earns you a new rank, which unlocks new cars and new events. So what we're going to jump into here is an event called Dark Horse. Okay. This is actually one of the events that we're shipping in the demo, which is coming out very, very soon. And Dana's going to get to play as a cop. #1 most requested feature for Need for Speed players in the last 8 years, the ability to play as a cop. So we thought we'll really go to town on that, and we'll give you, a full career progression, both online and offline on both sides. So Dana's going to choose a car here. Please don't choose the Crown Vic again. He likes the Crown Vic, but I keep telling him it's not as good as some of the other stuff.
You got to use your imagination. Crown Vics are all over the street here. You got to go with the creative cop cars.
I love the Crown Vic, but 370Zs.
He loves playing as the Crown Vic, and then he moans when he loses. So it's like, he's not taking my advice on either count.
No.
So he's gone with my advice here. He's choosing the 370Z. So in this event, Dana's playing as the cop. Obviously, for people who've been playing Need for Speed for a long time, they know what the cop's role is, because usually you're playing as the racer and the cops are trying to shut down the race. So that's exactly what Dana's doing now. He's going to be chasing after the racers. If he shuts them all down and completely shuts down the race, he'll post a time, and he'll also get a gold, silver, or a bronze, a distinction or a pass. So he's off and running here. You'll see down in the bottom left-hand corner, he actually has weapons available to him.
Oh, really?
And I don't mean weapons in kind of like, missiles and Gatling guns and crazy
red
stuff.
shells and green shells?
Yeah, there's none of that stuff, right? It's kind of, this is based in reality. So in previous Need for Speed games, you will have seen roadblocks and helicopters and spike strips. You can see pretty much the same thing is now under Dana's control. So on the D-pad down the left-hand corner of the screen, you can see if he presses down on the D-pad, if he gets in front of a racer, he can use a spike strip, drops out the back of your car, expands, takes out the tires. His roadblock weapon is actually charging up. That's on the right, so that's not available yet. And the two other weapons that he doesn't have available in this event are the helicopter, which flies out in front of the racer and drops a spike strip in front of him, or an EMP, which is a kind of electromagnetic pulse which locks onto the racer in front of you and bang, zaps their car, temporarily immobilizes them and allows you to move in for the bust.
Now, are you able to use sort of the environment to your advantage, like in Burnout, sort of nudge somebody into another car or obstacle and cause them to wipe out?
I mean, the thing about Criterion making Need for Speed is that there are certain expectations. Like you can see that, when we approached how would a cop bust a racer, right? I could kind of, I could dry hump the guy to a standstill, kind of, or I could smash him into a wall at 200 miles an hour, right? So we've gone down the Criterion route, which is smash him into the wall at 200 miles an hour, or get hit by them, as Dana said.
I was trying to drive the spike belt.
So, absolutely you can use the environment. What's he done there?
I busted him. So you do that once.
Oh, well,
you can mock it, but I won. Personal best, minute 31, top of the speed wall.
So a fantastic demo by Dana there. Obviously, he actually made that look very easy, apart from the rubbish bust at the end. But I'm joking. So he goes onto the speed wall there. It's a new personal best for him. You can see he's beaten 2 friends and to top the speed wall. So he's done pretty well there. So that's kind of a simple example of how Autolog brings your friends into the heart of the game and builds this friendly competition through seamless comparison.
Now, Dano's obviously playing solo right there, but these types of events you can also get a bunch of other players online, right?
Absolutely. One of the really cool things about the game is that you can play 8 players online, but you can have any mixture you want to. If you're playing with friends, you can have 1 cop and 7 racers, or you can have 7 cops and 1 racers, and any mixture in between. And you play Hot Pursuit, and it's pretty much what Dana just played there. The racers are trying to get to the end of the race, the cops are trying to shut them down. But obviously, we throw into the mix the different exotic vehicles in the game, we throw in the different weapon types, the upgraded weapons and the different times of day, the different weather cycles and the different routes. So there's lots in there for everybody.
All right, cool. Well, we're big fans of Burnout Paradise here in the office, and so we're obviously very much looking forward to Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Last question I've got for you then is, when do you expect the game to be out?
I don't expect it to be out. When do I know it's coming out?
When do you know it's coming out?
I know the game is coming out on November the 16th because I'm on vacation and the game's done.
And the game is all done, complete. You're going to go off and enjoy the States.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thanks a lot, Craig.
Thank you, sir.
Dana, great work in the race right there.
Thank you.
All right, guys, so that is your look at Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Now on with the rest of the show. So that was your look at Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Now it's time to see what else EA has in the works with this little exclusive sneak preview at a new feature coming to FIFA 11 this week.
As you see, I'm still gripping my DualShock 3 controller. That's because I'm having a great time at Killzone 3. I think you should be having a great time at Killzone 3 too. You know what you want to do is win one of these 50 beta keys. Sean is going to tell you how.
That's right, Kevin. We've got a slightly ridiculous trivia question for you guys today. Now, back at GDC Europe in August, I covered the Guerrilla Games panel and mentioned that, you know, it's a studio that likes to have fun and they like to have a contest growing this type of thing. Go back and look at that news story. Tell me what Guerrilla Games likes to grow, and either send us an email to onthespot@gamespot.com or use that little green answer trivia module on the page right here, and you could win a key to download the Killzone 3 public beta. All right, we've had a lot of great stuff on this episode of the show, but unfortunately we have reached the end. Kevin, it's not all bad news. We've got a lot of great stuff coming up, though.
There is great stuff. Well, Saturday's show, we're going to have a big Halloween special. Got to make sure to check that out. Also, on Thursday, we're going down to talk to Danny Trejo. You may know him from Machete.
Yes, exactly. And we've also got a lot of great stuff coming up next week too. We don't want to spoil anything for you, but a lot of big stuff coming your way. Anyways, guys, like we said, that's the end of this episode. So thanks for watching. I'm Sean McInnes.
I'm Kevin Van Ord.
And I'm a delicious cookie, and I'm about to get eaten. I'm just going to be staring at these for the entire show.
That's
well,
fine.
I'll take a few breaks to introduce the next segment, such as this. All right, Kevin, well, I appreciate you very much. I very much appreciate you. I appreciate you very much in general. End of toss.